A proposal to build the Keystone XL pipeline from Alberta to Texas got a key vote of approval today. Nebraska's governor signed off on the project, deciding a revised route largely avoids a sensitive aquifer in his state. The final decision rests with the U.S. President, Barack Obama. As Eric Sorensen reports, anyone betting that he'll rubber stamp the project may be reassessing after hearing what Obama had to say about climate change yesterday.
One of the last hurdles for a major pipeline to move Alberta oil to the Gulf of Mexico has been cleared. In a letter to the U.S. President, Nebraska's governor writes, construction and operation of the proposed Keystone XL pipeline would have minimal environmental impacts. I, he writes, approve the route. The approval follows weeks of hearings.
This is perhaps the most examined project in recent history.
Nebraska balked at first because the pipeline would have run through the environmentally vulnerable Sand Hills, where a huge underground aquifer close to the surface could have been devastated by an oil spill. The pipeline was already approved by 5 of 6 U.S. states along the route. Nebraska finally gave its approval after the proposed route was moved east, away from the most sensitive land. TransCanada hopes this paves the way for final approval.
I'm still optimistic that this thing can be done in a relatively short period of time. All of the work's been done. The routing in Nebraska has now been completed, which I think is a hugely positive step forward.
The proposal now goes to the U.S. State Department, which is conducting its own review.
Obviously, Nebraska's just finished. As I said, we have to take that work and crunch it into our own work. We don't anticipate being able to conclude our own review before the end of the first quarter of this year.
Ultimately, it goes to the White House.
Right now, I don't want to get ahead of it because the State Department has it.
What is the president's thinking on an oil pipeline after his new emphasis yesterday on green energy?
The path towards sustainable energy sources will be long and sometimes difficult. But America cannot resist this transition. We must lead it.
The president made climate his #1 priority for his next term.
Environmentalists hope Obama has shifted to a green agenda.
It's hard to see a world in which we move forward with Keystone XL and address climate change in the United States.
The government of Alberta says it's taking nothing for granted.
We are going to await with great interest the president's decision, but clearly it's important for America and for Canada to work together on projects like this.
The government of Alberta, along with Prime Minister Stephen Harper and Republicans here in Washington, all calling on President Obama today to approve the pipeline. Environmentalists, of course, are optimistic he will turn it down. Donna?
Eric, where does this leave things in terms of timing? It was widely expected there'd be a decision from the president on Keystone by the end of March.
I don't think it'll be that soon. The State Department might have its environmental impact review done by the end of March, but then there's another period for public comment and other considerations. I think summer is about the earliest we might see approval, more likely later in the year for final approval. Donna?
All right, still lots to come. Eric Sorensen in Washington, thank you.